Hey, everybody. I am so freaking excited for this conversation here with Karen Glasser and this workshop that we're doing. Series. I was looking for the word series. I've been on several calls today, but I am very excited about
Lunch
this.
and learn out loud.
Yeah, that's my phrase. I love to learn out loud, so we just added that on, and that's pretty much what we're doing here. Is we're starting at the beginning. We are going to talk basics of AI, and we want to learn out loud with you. So I will ask questions, but please make comments, questions in the chat, etc., so we can answer those as we go along. And our thought process is to kind of go back to the beginning and do some thorough conversation through foundations in AI. So, yeah.
And
Karen, can you introduce yourself for us?
I'm Karen Glasser. I'm your tech evangelist. And I love technology. I love it, love it, love it. And I'm not afraid of it. And my job as a tech evangelist is to make sure you're not afraid of it either. Okay. And we're actually going to do a in real time demo of how to use these tools for you as a home service HVAC individual, whether you're a company or you're just talking to a customer. So we're just going to jump in. And the first thing that I really want to just put out there is that AI isn't a single tool. Okay? It's an ecosystem, and it lives with all of these other tools. And overwhelm doesn't come from the AI being too powerful. It comes from not knowing which tool to use first, second, third, or never. And sometimes it's never, because we hear from the gurus out there, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I'm here to say, no, you don't. You don't need to do any of that. You only need
We need
to
more empowering people like you, Karen,
Yeah.
just telling us. Get started. Here's what you do.
And here's the thing, you need to use what you need to use. And we're here today to literally outline a few of the tools that I think will be very powerful for you. But if they don't work for you, that's okay too. And that's what I'm here to say. So this is what the workshop is not about. It's not about learning every single tool. It's not about chasing shiny objects. I do that on a daily basis. Raise your hand if you chase shiny objects. You see something and you jump right in. And it's not about automating your brain. That's not what this is about. What it is about is reducing friction, making better decisions, and turning thinking into output without the burnout. I don't know about you, Steph. I'm burned out by this on a regular basis, right? Every single day, something that I've done has changed.
Yeah, definitely. I'm exhausted. I'm excited. I'm terrified, and then that loop kind of goes back around.
Goes in circles, right?
Yeah, and one thing that I really want you all to hear is how critical you are in this picture, right? And AI should essentially be your superhero cape.
Right.
And you're going to get stronger and stronger as you go. And you're going to learn what you need. I've also taken a lot of solace. I don't know if that's the right word I want to use, but relief in I can train my AI tools. And so just because the results I'm getting in the beginning does not mean that will be the results at the end. I have to understand that we're evolving together. And it's just like training a human.
Exactly. And they're a team member. Literally think about these tools as being a team member. They're not just something that's out there, even though it feels like they're out there. I think mine's live, but they're out there. They're a team member. And so if you have team members that you have not trained properly, what's going to happen? You're not going to get the results that you need. So I'm going to introduce something that I call the smart stack. And I call it a smart stack because it's a stack of tools that I'm going to show you right now. And there's a ton of tools that I'm not going to show you. And maybe one of those other tools should be in your smart stack. And each time we do a workshop, we're going to do an actual, hi, Jess. We're going to do an actual workshop on each individual tool. So once we've gone through this basic foundational thing, the next workshop we're going to be doing all about ChatGPT. Okay, so just keep that in the back of your mind. So when I say a smart stack, I say that there are literally certain things that you have to do in your flow. You have to get clarity, and what does that mean? What matters, right? Why are we doing this? What does it matter? Creation, we're going to turn that into a structure. Interpretation, we're going to make sure that it actually says what you think it's saying and that it sounds like you. And then the operation, you're going to actually produce the content and all the things that you're going to do from what you got from the others. and then you're going to repurpose it. Okay, so there are literally 5 different layers to this. You might get to the point where you say, I only need 4 of them, and that's okay, literally, or you only need 1. With full transparency, I am a ChatGPT lover. And I'm laughing when you said you've trained. I spend hours and hours and hours and hours, I mean months of hours, so that my chat knows me to the point it literally stops me and says, that's not you.
Oh, same here.
And that's great, right?
And the other thing is everybody's LLM or chat tools are different.
Mm-hmm.
So Jennifer Bagley actually told me that mine was better in this particular response. So she had me look at something on the legal side for her, and I was able, to put that into ChatGPT and spit it back. And I'm like, it's like an attorney trained it, huh, Jen? She's like, yours was so much more helpful than mine.
and coming from Jen, high praise.
High praise. Like I was floating after that. I'm like, look at me. I got a smart GPT.
And I know that, Krista, you use a whole set of tools as well. I know you use Gemini. Gemini's cool. And we'll talk about Gemini at a later time when we go
really
through
cool. I'm learning a lot about Gemini.
Notebook cool. LM. I mean, we could just drop names of things right now. And I don't really want to do that because your head's going to explode. And I really don't want to do that. So today we're going to show you how all those pieces work together, not perfectly. And this is important, not perfectly. And not magically, but reliably. I know that I go into my chat and sometimes it just not give me what I need. It just doesn't. And so I have to dig down, drill down until it gives me what I want. And then I do something called canonize it. Once I get what I want and I'm doing something on a regular basis, I have chat canonize it. And that means put it in granite, put it in stone, give me everything that I just did to get to that point. So that if I'm going to do another workshop, that's how I do my workshops. If I'm going to do another email sequence, that's how I do that. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And if we have
I have chat, I call it a master prompt, create a master prompt for me. And then I download that into a PDF because I'm always worried about losing things. And so I save the PDF, but then I upload it into the project to help.
Yes, I was going to say, make sure you take that. I do the same thing, but then I take it and I put it in its own space, at which that space lives in a canonized project. And that means it's a canonized workshop, canonized email, and everything lives there. So I don't have to go dig out the PDF, which I do anyways. I go out and dig it anyways. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start, and we're going to talk about perplexity. All right? Perplexity is the first layer. It's the clarity layer. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you something that we're going to actually dig into a little bit later, but I want to show you the where it starts with.
I was blown away when I started to use Perplexity in this sequence before really going to chat, because the research that you're able to garner from the questions that you ask it for the Perplexity level, they're just brilliant. It's brilliant.
So. Yeah. And so think of Perplexity as that clarity level. And we're going to use it as a demo thing in a second. What questions do homeowners ask HVAC? And we'll get that. But you can do anything in here. You can ask questions and you're going to research. And then what Perplexity does, just like the other platforms, it will give you follow-ups. So it might give you some things that you didn't think about. And you can do some deep research. You can get some sample scripts for HVAC companies to answer licensing questions. It took all these things that I actually asked it and gave me the following questions. So it's your clarity.
So Karen, what's the problem that you're starting with? Like, what question are you trying to be answered with this demo that we're going through before you start?
I guess if you want me to start the demo now, I can do that. I want to actually go through what the tools do, and then I'm going to show you the question. Okay, this is the question right now.
Let's do that.
Just so you see, what questions do homeowners ask HVAC companies most often? Include seasonal concerns, cost questions, maintenance issues, and any topics that have increased in the last 30 days. That's the prompt I'm going to use. You can use something different.
But why? Like, what are we trying to get at the end?
We're going to create content.
Okay. So that's the key here, guys, is the goal is we're going to create content, but we want to create valuable content.
Yeah.
We want to create content that is actually going to connect and that's going to deliver the results that we want. So if we were to go into ChatGPT and just say, create as content, who knows what we would get?
Well, I do, and it would be crappy.
So what we're trying to do here is figure out even if you were to go in and give it a smart-ish prompt, right?
Yeah,
I'm an HVAC company. This is what
yeah,
I'm looking for.
yeah.
ChatGPT has its restrictions.
Yes.
And
It has
so,
lots of restrictions. Perplexity tends to be current as of today. ChatGPT, even though it's getting better, it's not as of today. And so when you ask it certain things, it will. I've had it pull things like I asked it about Manus, and Manus apparently is another something out there. And the first thing that Chat gave me was something completely wrong. And I said, no, I'm talking about Manus, the AI platform. Oh, Manus, the AI platform, and then it proceeds to give me what I need. So what Perplexity does, and it's why I start with everything before I write, it surfaces real questions. It shows patterns and it gives you source back direction. And you will notice in this example, it literally gives me the sources. So if I look at it, and you guys should click on them to make sure that it literally is a legitimate source. Perplexity is actually quite good at this. I seldom have to say, no, that didn't make sense. Chat, not so much, but on Perplexity, it's very research based. But you can check all of the resources and the sources that they use. So it frames, this is about getting answers, and it's not about creating content yet, because we're not creating content yet. We're just doing the research, okay? It's going to do the research. It's going to give, you can get FAQs, it can do comparisons, it can do trends. Some people like to use Grok for that. But today, for those purposes, we're using Perplexity. If you skip this step, everything downstream is going to get noisier.
now,
If you don't get clear here, everything's going to be noisier.
Karen, do I need to pay for Perplexity?
No, I don't pay for Perplexity. You can.
Sure.
You absolutely can.
Everybody's trying to get into my pocket. So I need to know which ones it's important to pay for and which ones I can use the free version.
So the answer to that question, we're going to be able to answer at the very end, because, as I said, Chat is my go-to. It's one of my stuff in my smart stack, and I pay for that one. I do not pay for Perplexity because the research it gives me is perfect. It's perfect. I'm able to use it, and I do not need to upgrade the plan. One of the things that Perplexity is now offering, as others are offering, it's connecting to Chat, it's connecting to Manus, it's connecting to other things, but you only get a truncated version of these programs. You're not going into your own chat. It's connected to Perplexity. So I'm going to encourage you not to do those group things, is you just go to the individual platforms.
Okay.
All right.
So we'll go do research. This is us. We're going to the library, you guys. So back in the day when we had a problem and we didn't know what we were doing, we would go to the library. Perplexity is our library.
Exactly. And you went to the card catalog.
Yeah.
I'm dating myself right now. All right. Secondly, I'm going to share this tab. The second thing that we're going to go to, and this is the creation layer.
So this is the workspace.
Right. So what I did, actually, I'm kind of doing the demo as we're doing this. I took all the research that I did from Perplexity and I loaded into Chat. And then I ask a particular prompt, and I will show you that later. And then it will give me, start giving me assets. Literally, it will give me some actual content assets. The role is, it's a structure builder. It's best for turning questions into themes, outlining content, building calendars, frameworks, and sequences. But most people don't stop there. They take it somewhere else to make it better. And we'll get there in a second. I don't ask ChatGPT to decide what matters. I ask it to help me build once I've decided. So the decision was from the research, and then I go into Chat, and I don't ask. So I'm literally asking it to build something based upon the decision of that research. Make sense?
But are you actually deducing it down to a decision in Perplexity or in Chat?
I take the whole thing. Everything that's given to me, I take the whole thing and I paste it into Chat with a new prompt.
And then it helps you synthesize the decision.
It literally takes everything and creates everything, all of the everything. I'm asking it for pillars. I'm not asking it for content themes. Okay? The distinction matters. You're not asking it to do research in here. You're not. You're asking it to take the research that you gave it. and to create content around it. Now, I said the next level, and for me, that does it a great job. And that's because I have trained it to the nth degree. It gives me everything. It tells me what's not good. It tells me what I need to change. But sometimes I take the content that's created.
So let's take a second on that, Karen. Audience, I have told my chat GPT and I've trained it over and over again. I do not want it to be a yes man. I want it to ask me questions. I want it to challenge me in these ways. And so just the same way that you would be training your personal human assistant is how you have to go about training any of these LLMs. And
Yes.
so you want to make sure I think chat wants to be super complimentary at the beginning. And
Yeah,
I
you
love when it tells me
stop
how
blowing-
smart I am.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
right?
I tell it to stop blowing smoke up my butt. I literally have said that because it wants to pat you on the back. You did a good job, and that's not necessarily what you need. Now, in the beginning, maybe that's nice to get some content, and you don't have to do that much of a deep dive. But as you start going into this, you're going to realize, I wish he had said this a little bit different. Mine's a he, said that a little differently, or why did, and then you can get it to create more and more and more.
And I've also asked it to help me create smarter prompts or suggest smarter prompts for me.
Yeah. Again, if you're starting in chat, that's going to be something you're probably going to do a lot of. If you start it in Perplexity, which is what I'm encouraging people to do your research, wherever you do your research, you don't have to actually go down that road with chat because you have literally given it everything. Okay? The next platform we're going to move to is Claude. Now, Claude is Claude is beautiful. I do not pay for it. Claude is going to, it's going to literally refine the ideas that you did in chat. It's going to strengthen the narrative. It's going to make sure that it sounds like you. It's going to make sure that there's no holes in it. It's going to make sure that you can actually use this. And so, again, I'm going to show you all the prompts, but in this case, I took everything the chat did. I copied the 5 content pillars because that's what I asked it to give me. I could have given it the whole thing, but I didn't need it. And I said, do they sound clear to the homeowner that has no HVAC background? Helpful rather than salesy? Consistent with professional, trustworthy local companies? And it literally told me, and we'll show you in its entirety, which pillars seemed to work, and it did not like the trust technology and what's new. It said it was very weak. So I could continue with this and say, okay, can you tell me how I could make this better? And it will make it better. Okay, so we have 3 steps so far. I don't go to Claude on a regular basis because, as I said, I'm in ChatGPT. It does everything for me.
This is a little bit advanced, but I also want you all to understand that these are on different infrastructures. So ChatGPT is on OpenAI, Claude is on Anthropic. And so they have different focuses. They have different developers.
Right.
And this is like, okay, so you have your boardroom and now you're going to take 2 of the smartest people in your office and present them with something and ask, are there holes here? What's happening?
Right.
And so we do that. I do that quite often where I'll do a lot of work in chat and then go over to Claude to make sure there aren't holes.
Right.
And same with Manus.
Right. And Manus is in this mix now. So we're going to show that in a second. It's an interpretation mode. Okay. So Claude, think interpretation, not production. It's interpretation. Chat did the production. Now Claude is going to interpret it, make sure it sounds like you. So
is Claude capable of doing it without chat?
Sure. There are
It's
people
just
that just
not its skill set.
No, it can do content. It completely, but again, you need to play in it and you need to train it. So, you can customize Claude in a way that you cannot customize chat. Let me show you this for a second. So when you are in Claude, you can connect your tools. That means everything that you use. If you're using Figma, Slack, Canva, Gamma, Monday, whatever you're using, you can connect so that when it's making sure that it sounds like you, that it's what it knows because it was in all of your tools. The other thing it does is you can create new skills. And this is literally where you can train it. I really don't want anyone going in here right now because this is complicated. Because these are literally examples on how you can do your brand guidelines and a skill creator and algorithmic art and Canva. Don't do that yet. But when you're ready to do it, you can write your skill instructions. And what that really means is who are you? What do you do? How do you talk? What are the colors? All everything. And you can do that. And that will make your Claude even better. That's not something that chat does. You have to train your chat. Okay. So
Would you make these skill instructions in chat though?
you could,
Yeah.
but again, keeping in mind that chat is the creation mode,
Right.
Claude is the interpretation mode.
Yeah. And so I tend to do that a lot as I go back to chat to kind of do the legwork for me.
Right.
And then move into another platform to actually produce what it is I want to produce, because I can't get chat to make me beautiful presentations. I can't get chat to, but that's where most of the content comes from.
Right. So. Absolutely. Before we move into Manus, and that is actually part of the demo, and I really do want to hold off on that for a second, I want to talk about browsers.
Great.
I don't know about you. I use Chrome. I don't use Safari because I don't like it, but there's Firefox. Those are the browsers when you think about it, right? Or you can have the one that does it behind the scene. Nobody knows that you're doing it. DuckDuckGo, I think. But browsers in the AI world are connected to the platforms. And the way to use them is you have to download them as an app. So I'm going to figure out how to share my entire screen because I'm going to open an app right now.
I think DuckDuckGo is associated with ChatGPT.
No, Atlas is associated with ChatGPT.
Okay, well, sometimes we will get leads through ChatGPT and the source is DuckDuckGo.
Well, that's because it's research. It goes and pulls it in.
Yeah, and my team's like, what is DuckDuckGo?
DuckDuckGo is a great platform if you don't want anybody knowing what you're looking at.
So it's an incognito mode kind of thing.
Incognito. All right. Yeah. I'm going to share my entire screen right now because I want to show you something. If you can see at the bottom here, it's telescoping. I'm going to go ahead and open. This is ChatGPT with the Atlas browser on right now. Krista, remember you were talking to me, you went to Gemini and you created, and the Gemini lives up here in the top corner. Can you see my screen? Yeah.
It says Ask ChatGPT now.
Yes, now it says Ask ChatGPT because I am in the ChatGPT browser called Atlas. So when you click on it, it opens up in a sidebar. If I want to summarize, this is my website, but if I wanted, I could put a bunch of other content and say, summarize what's in there, learn, find related articles. So when you're using this is the operation layer. So when you're using Atlas, you're going to organize. It's the architect.
I haven't done this. Does this allow ChatGPT to have a more thorough analysis of particular websites and information?
Yes. It's two different things that you can use together or not.
It's always or not. Yeah.
Or not. So I use ChatGPT. I generally do not have Atlas on because I've done my research already in Perplexity. But I could use ChatGPT and I can ask ChatGPT and I can have it do some research for me in here. And Atlas is actually quite good.
ChatGPT is getting better about being able to pull up live websites. It didn't used to be able to do that, but it seems like it's able to open them now.
Yeah, and every day they're getting better and better and better. But again, check the work to make sure that, in fact, what it's giving you is correct and true. So for Atlas, you're going to use when, let's say, I build workshops, any long form content, research heavy projects. So let's get, do you have an example, Steph, that you would use if you were doing research or long form content, something that would be HVAC oriented?
I don't know. Let's say I want to come up with like a new sales campaign.
So go to your site. It's Airworks, right?
Oh, goodness. Here's the real test. Airworksolutions.com. All right. What are we doing here?
All right. So I have the Ask ChatGPT open. It's toggled open. You could look at this. So this is giving me some suggestions. Create a 7-post Facebook and LinkedIn campaign based on your website.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Rewrite hero. Rewrite the homepage hero. So
I'm sure Jen would love that.
yeah. So that's all. So it lives in the top corner. And this is connected to ChatGPT. But again, remember, if you're using ChatGPT, it doesn't automatically open Atlas. You have to download the app, and it lives in the toolbar. This is only for iOS right now.
Means Mac and Apple.
Yep. And I believe you can do it on your phone, Android. I think they did it for Android, but not for a PC. Go and figure. I don't know why.
You only develop so much at a time. It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. The next thing would be, the next browser. I'm sorry, the next actual browser, and that is Comet. And I consider that a clarity browser. So let me open that up. Oh, and I'm not going to open that up. It's the wrong one. Here we go. That's not the right one. Don't you know when you start to do stuff like that and I closed the screen and it's gone? Comet. Here we go. Same website. Here is the Comet Assistant. Top right-hand side. Comet clarifies when you need speed, when you're scanning, not building. It will give you instant summaries. It will do fast comparison. So you might want to open a couple of tabs and say, compare this and this. Insight without deep dives. Comet is my scout. It's quick in, quick out. So the same thing. Let's go to Airworks. Airworksolutions.com, right? So you could ask anything for quick instant summary. So maybe we would say, what services is the most used or the most popular service from Airworks? I'm making this up, guys. Airworks Solutions. Let's see if it gives us anything.
It's a really interesting sentence. What services is the most service?
I said it wrong, but here it is. Primary services, HVAC, air conditioning, main service categories. You also emphasize same-day repairs, 24/7, emergency service, professionals, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So this took your site here. No, I used the wrong word. It's most, I was going to say is most used.
But it goes to show that you can put it in there. It's going to think about what it wants to be. Yeah.
So 2 browsers. You've got the first browser that we did, and that was the Atlas browser, which is connected with chat. And that's for building things, content, long-form content, research-heavy projects when you really need to do the deep dive. The other, this is the Comet one, and the Comet browser clarifies. You may only use one of them. You may use none of them. You may say, I like Gemini, and I'm going to stay with Gemini. Okay? Again, pick the one that works the best for you. Make sure that you have trained it. Make sure that you talk to it. Make sure it knows you so that when it's starting to give you content, it literally gives you content that you want, not content that you don't want.
But I also think it's important to know the shortcomings. Like Gemini is not the place that's going to generate the research for me.
Right. Well, maybe.
Sure, it might do an okay job. But what we're saying here is do that in Perplexity and figure out what good looks like. And then you can try it in your other tools and see if it's comparable.
Right.
But if we best in class, we would say do your research in Perplexity. You have a choice of kind of the workhorse.
Right.
And then where we're refining.
Exactly. Now I'm going to take you into Manus. Manus will take all of the content that you did in chat that was researched in Perplexity that you took over to Claude, that smoothed it all over, and then you take everything that was in there and you bring it over to Manus, because now you're going to have Manus create the actual content for you. Now we're into content creation. Even though I'm going to say again, I use chat for content creation. It's really important that I get this message out. You don't need all of the tools. You have to figure out which one is going to work for you? What's the problem you're trying to solve? What are you trying to get clear on? And then it will become very clear which tool you need to use, literally and figuratively. So I took everything and I said, draft a homeowner friendly HVAC post based on the topic. I took one of the topics that Claude gave me with the goal to educate and build trust, and Manis proceeded to do research on it, write and finalize the post, and then deliver the post. And here is the post. The next thing it did, though, is you can create a website around the post. So let's say, for you, Steph, you wanted to do a little app of some sort or some kind of thing that just dealt with repair or replace your HVAC system. You could have it create a page that you could attach to your site, taking this content.
I'm going to ask a complicated question. I don't know if you know the answer. Is that if this creates a page for my website, is it crawlable? Is it a smart page?
You take that page, then you put it on your site and you make it crawlable. If you're on a Webflow, it's AI optimized. It depends on what you're on, but you have to optimize it.
This is just an example of what's possible out there, but we do need to be careful that there are experts for a reason.
Yep.
So when we get into things like marketing, you can create the framework, but you creating a website
Agreed.
lovable is just not going to work.
Agreed. So the reason why I'm bringing it up, though, is that these are the tools that are in here that you can use. And I'm going to show you something else that is freaking awesome.
It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing what
it is mind-blowing.
The average human is now capable of.
Exactly. And again, our purpose here is for as from a beginner perspective. If you haven't done any of this before, we really don't want you freaking out, and saying, I can't do this. And
don't freak out.
I really want to impress upon you that start small. So when Manis gave me all of this, I wanted it to create an additional version for Facebook and then one for LinkedIn. And it gave me all of that as well. And then I asked it to repurpose this content into one quick homeowner tip, one FAQ style post, and one short seasonal reminder. So it's now creating everything for me.
So I think about Manis as my doers, right? Because Manis sends out all its little agents and it goes and researches and collects and does whatever and comes back and produces. And so and Jen doesn't love this analogy, but I use ChatGPT to architect the idea. And then I say my general contractor is Manis and go get all of your subcontractors to go do this work for me.
Yes. But in this workshop, though, I'm not using Manis to decide anything. I'm using it to help me produce faster.
No, you've already decided that between Perplexity and ChatGPT.
Right. Exactly. So I before this workshop started, I spoke with Krista about this. I have literally a step-by-step for HVAC and home services, people, specifically HVAC, of how to use every single one of these things and the prompts to go through it. If you are interested in getting a copy of it, actually, we're going to create a course around it. So we're going to create a course around it.
Great. And John Dean's asking, what is the best place to create an infographic for a service?
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you where, but we're not going there. I would go over to Notebook LM. I love Notebook LM. And we'll be doing a workshop on it, but they're literally the tools are in there, and it's free. It's a Google thing. And literally there's a button you can push. You put your stuff in there and say, create an infographic. It will give you an infographic. Create an audio interview on this. Create a video around this. It does everything.
The cool thing about Notebook LM is that it's a closed space. So it only takes information from what you give it. And so if you have it synced to your drive, fine, but it's really going to look at just the files that you put in there. Whereas ChatGPT or Manis, they're open, and so it's harder to constrain them.
Exactly. Okay, I'm going to walk through. I've kind of been showing you little bits and pieces of this, but these are the actual prompts that we're going to create a course around so that you can actually do this. The question was, and this was specifically for HVAC, and this is very specifically for the consumer. So it's the company talking to the consumer. There are other prompts on this that you're going to get when we put it into a course if you're talking from a business perspective to other businesses' perspective, and that's different. But this is talking to the customer. What questions do they ask? Seasonal concerns, and it literally created everyday cost questions. What size do I need? Maintenance and reliability, seasonal concerns. You see, it's asking me right here to add a follow-up or check sources as I'm scrolling. It's
Are we
annoying.
looking at the right screen? We've got maintenance.
Oh, maybe not.
There you go.
All right. So it literally, based upon this very simple request, what questions do homeowners ask HVAC companies most often? It gave me the questions. It gave me the pillars: maintenance and reliability, seasonal concerns, comfort, health, and IAQ, which I have no idea what that means. Stephanie, IAQ, what is that?
Indoor air quality.
Okay, it will do that. Contractor warranty and process questions. These are literally from the searches that went out all over from Perplexity. These are the questions, and here are the sources that they're getting them from. Okay? And then topics that came in this last 30 days, early 2026. So it gives you some current stuff as well. And then I literally click this little copy button right here, and I took it into chat. And I asked the following question. Turn these homeowner questions into 5 content themes for an HVAC company. The theme should be helpful, easy for homeowners to understand, focused on trust, maintenance, savings, and seasonal care. Homeowners usually ask HVAC companies about system, performance, cost, efficiency, yada, 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 yada. And it then gives me content around it. So chat says, perfect. I'm going to turn this into 5 clear homeowner themes that an HVAC company can use for blog posts, emails, social media, and short videos. So here's repair, place, and upgrade. Remember, you saw the repair, replace somewhere else? That was where I pulled it from. This is what the theme covers, what the angle is, the messaging focus, content examples, and it positions the company as an advisor, not a salesperson. Then the next one, prevents problems. It goes through the same thing. Then seasonal home comfort checklist. Remember, it's taking everything that I asked it to do, and it's now giving me ideas, pillars, content pillars, examples, health, air quality, keeps going, trust technology. I think you remember it told me that this was kind of weak. This came from chat. And then a simple summary for website or strategy. So what I did is I copied this, the 5 pillars. I could have copied the whole thing, and I could drop it if I wanted into Claude. I chose not to do that because I wanted Claude to come up with its own stuff. So I took these 5 things, and now I moved to Claude. And here we go. Review these content themes. I grabbed it from chat, brought it in here. Do they sound clear to a homeowner, helpful rather than salesy, consistent with a professional, trustworthy local company? You may have other questions that you want to make sure that it's using your buzzwords and things like that. Point out anything that feels confusing, pushy, or unclear. And here are the 5 content pillars. Okay, so far we're good. Any questions up until this point? We researched in Perplexity, pushed the copy button, brought it into chat, asked a prompt, and we're gonna give this to you in a class. It gave you content. I pushed the copy button. I bring it into Claude, and I ask a particular prompt to review it. It tells me the pillars are solid overall. What's working well, pillars 2 and 3 are the clearest. Maintenance and prevention, seasonal comfort and safety. Pillar 1, it actually helps a lot here, so keep it without it, smart money. So it's telling you why it might not be 100% great. Pillar thing. Overall, nothing here is pushy or alarming. The main thing to watch is that pillar 5 earns its name through the actual content rather than relying on the word trust to do the work for you. So you would click this little copy button here. Then you move over to Manus. Draft a homeowner say, and we did this earlier. I took one of the content pillars, repair or replace, and I copied and pasted it into here with the goal. And then Manus received the request. It built a draft for me. And then I asked it, as you remember earlier, I asked it to do 2 more versions. And then I asked it to repurpose it into the other pieces of this. And then lastly, I asked it to review all of those posts it just gave me. Do they sound consistent? Meaning what I'm talking about on LinkedIn versus what I'm talking about on Facebook versus do they all come together? Are they clear and homeowner friendly? Suggest small improvements, no rewrites. So it now takes its own work that it did and fixes it.
I love that about Manus. So if you create documents and then you decide that you want to change a name or something like that,
Yep.
it will actually go back into that document and update it for you.
Yep. So
as an attorney doing contracts, it has saved me so much time having to go back and actually edit. It's way better than a control find.
So you can see and then at the very end, make the process we used here into a reusable skill or skill creator. Remember I said that you can actually set up, you can canonize stuff. In Manus, they call it, a reusable skill. So let's say this is something you want to continue to use, which means remember there were other pillars. I only brought only one pillar over. That's why this would come in handy. And then you have all the content and you're good to go. Now, I'm going to make you laugh because actually there are people that then let me get out of the share. There are people that generally now take the Manus stuff and take it back to chat. Again, that becomes their smart stack. I'm not encouraging you guys to do that. What I'm encouraging you to do is say, yeah, Perplexity sounds interesting. I want to do some research there. Or no, I already know what I know. Then you might want to start in chat. Because chat does have Atlas. It is a research tool. You could just say, I don't want to go into Perplexity. I want to stay just in chat. And then you take it to Claude. But you may say, you know what? I really like what chat gave me because I have spent months and months of hours training it to sound like me. I don't need Claude to tell me that it actually sounds like me because I already know that, right? And again, I told you in the beginning, I'm a chat girl. So I don't normally take it into Manus unless I need to, like my workshops I do because I want it to really flesh it out, make sure that I haven't missed anything. Because I do miss stuff, even though I've canonized it. So what you've got here is a system, a smart stack system. You start one place and you move down the stack, literally move down the stack, and you now have content. And now you can take it into Cast Magic. Now you can take it into Opus Clip if you record a video. Now you can do, and then that amplifies the distribution. Questions?
Any questions on where we are here? For me, I know that knowing which tool to use has made me that much stronger in learning.
Yeah.
And it's funny how much each of the tools learn from the other tool.
Oh, yeah.
So that became a better researcher when I started to feed it information from Perplexity. I was like, oh, this is how you want me to show up.
Exactly. That's a very good point. You are training chat, and one of the ways you can train it is by the other platforms putting that content in that you've already kind of massaged, and you bring it over there and literally chat goes, oh, okay. And now it goes into the database, and now it's in there. It's there so that when you do other things, it knows that it's there as well.
And because we're learning out loud together, I am brand new into the Claude world. My goal this week is, and I actually started paying for it because I believe that some of the tools that you pay for, it's just like paying for a personal assistant at the gym or personal coach at the gym, right? And I want to establish more in my branding, et cetera. So I want that softer skill. I found that you can download all of your chat history, and it takes some time over into a zip. And then I can upload that into Claude. So I will be working on that. I can report back in the future.
Yeah, please do. Actually, please do. I've had a couple of questions. And if you want it, can you create a scribe on that? SOP? Do this, do this, do this.
Yeah, I'll figure that out. And I think what's also important is that chat only remembers for so long. And so you kind of want to get into the habit of anything that's really important, you are downloading to make sure that you're memorializing that information.
Right, and you want to put it into projects. And when we do Chat GPT in 2 weeks, that's the next workshop. We're going to literally teach you how to set up chat so that you don't make the mistakes I did. And just have all these spaces and there's stuff all over the place. I'm going to show you some really cool tricks. We're going to talk about projects so that you can put things all in one space. So if you want to do legal stuff, you can have the legal project and all the different chats that are in there. I'm going to teach you something in there that has changed the way I work. I don't know about you guys. When I go deep dive, I go down the rabbit hole and I never come out. And when I then try to go figure out where I started and where I ended, it's a mess. And so Chad has added something in here. I think Steph, you and I talked about this.
Yeah.
It literally will branch out into a new thread. So it keeps it with it, but without messing up the rest of it. So that's something that's coming in the future. All right, so let's talk about a summary before we move and we say goodbye to everyone. You're going to choose perplexity when you need direction. You are going to choose ChatGPT when you need structure. You're going to use the interpretation mode of Claude when clarity matters more than speed. And you're going to choose Atlas when you are building something big. And you're going to choose Comet when you need something fast. And then you're going to choose Manus when thinking is done and production needs to happen. I have 2 cheat sheets, bonus handouts, that will be on the repay page tomorrow, that you will get, that literally everything that I just said is on there. It's going to compare all of the browsers, and it's going to literally say, use this when you want to do this, use this when you want to do that. Because I know that your heads are exploding right now. And our goal was not to do that, so I want to really bring it back down. When you go to watch the replay, get the bonuses, and you're going to literally see what it's, because seeing it on a screen is different than reading it on a piece of paper. All right? So you're going to do that. You don't need more tools. I think we all have discovered that. You do not need more tools. You need fewer decisions at the wrong time, right?
The right time.
You need fewer decisions at the wrong time. More decisions at the right time. This isn't about doing everything today, even though that's me. It's about knowing what comes next. And we're going to keep building on this in future sessions, okay? So
I'm excited to learn more about all the tools. I'm excited to learn about creating images and presentations and other things. And the tools continue to evolve as we are.
Well, they do. And when we set this workshop up, I had created this workshop in November. I had to redo it because the tools changed.
Yep.
And the stack changed. We will be putting one more thing. We'll be putting a link to, if you want to go check out my starter playbook, my Smart Stack starter playbook. It will literally, it's not a tutorial. It's getting clear. It will actually help you decide what tools you need to use so that when you jump in here, you're already ahead of the game.
And here's what I implore you. Just start, right? Just start somewhere. We're going to give you the path that we think is the easiest, but most important is that you're getting started and you're embracing these AI tools. They're not going anywhere. They're going faster than ever before. And so we want you to get on the train now. Ask the questions that you need to ask, and then realize there's no experts out there. We are all learning just at different speeds and in different places. And you can generally find somebody that's a few steps ahead of you to lead you on the way.
Right. And we are those people. We are those people a few steps ahead. Krista, I have a question for you. What's your Smart Stack? I know you use Gemini. What else do you use?
I use a whole range. So I use Chat, I use Claude, I use Gemini, I use Manus, because a lot of my work is research and content creation.
There you go.
And then I also do a lot of video stuff. So I use Cast Magic and Opus Clips on top of that.
Right. So all of those links will be in the left column on the community group. The Smart Stack will be there. And the course that Krista and I are going to put together for this whole prompting, because I am sure you probably are going, well, wait, I need to copy that. Or you were doing screenshots or whatever you were doing. I want to give this to you so that you can actually do this. Keep in mind, you're probably going to want to edit it a little bit because this is a generic for HVAC. And I did this in chat. Chat literally, I asked chat, what are people asking? I went into perplexity. What are people asking? And it told me what people are asking, right? So again, just start. As Steph said, just start. 2 weeks from today, we will be using ChatGPT. Let me know in the comments. Would you like to learn Claude after that, or should we jump into Notebook LM? What would you like to learn next? Those are within that same beginner. These are all beginner things. So if there's something that you've always wanted to learn, you've been hearing about it, let us know, and we'll put it into the agenda. We'll put it into the timeline as to when we're going to teach this. We're here to serve you.
Well, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you teaching me so much. There's something to finding different mentors in this space because you all articulate things a little bit differently, and then you're able to grab on at different spots. So our goal here, like I said, was really to be the entry level coming in. So, because when you can get Jennifer Bagley in a room, she can make your head spin. And so that's why she was not invited. She wasn't invited to this.
And guys, listen, there's some of you that are listening going, oh, I know this already. I actually know this. This is good. It's a good refresh. But you know what? Each week as you learn more, you might say, I'm ready for Jen Bagley. I'm ready to go to that advanced level. And some of you will, and some of you won't. And I'm here to say it's okay. Wherever you are, you can stay exactly where you are.
She turns the light on for me. She gives me like little bits of light where I need to see where the future is, and then I can get there. So we're going to keep learning out loud. We're going to keep this series going. Please watch it. Please share it with others. Let us know what you want to learn and kind of on what cadence, and we will reply.
We will
answer that. So
create a poll in the community for you.
Oh yeah, that'll be great.
Yeah, let's be active. Be active in the community, active in the chat, and realize that if you don't know it, somebody else doesn't know it. So ask those questions. And if you don't know it, there'll probably be guides along the way to help.
Exactly. Thank you all for being here today. We appreciate you. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's great.
I think chats is the natural next one. A lot of us use it, and it's the one you hear the most.
I think we may still be live. So this.
Okay. It says stream ending now. If this